This reef looks quiet. From the surface it seems calm. Light moves through the water. Fish drift between the rocks. Bubbles rise slowly toward the sun. But if you could hear what is happening inside this reef, it would not sound peaceful. It would crackle, it would pop, it would snap. And some of those sounds come from a tiny animal hidden among the rocks, firing one of the strangest weapons in nature, a weapon made from water. This is the pistol shrimp, also known as the snapping shrimp. At first, it looks too small to matter. It spends much of its life close to the reef floor, hiding in burrows, coral rubble, sponges, and narrow openings between rocks. In a crowded reef, that is exactly where a small animal needs to be. The bottom of the reef is not empty. It is a maze of territories, shelters, predators, rivals, and prey. Every crack can become a home. Every shadow can hide danger. Every small space can be worth defending. The pistol shrimp survives in that world with one unusual advantage. One of its claws is much larger than the other, and that claw is not just for grabbing food. It is a biological mechanism built to manipulate water. Most claws work by gripping, crushing, or holding. The pistol shrimp's claw works differently. It behaves more like a slapping device. The shrimp opens the claw, stores tension inside the structure, and then releases it with incredible speed. The claw closes so fast that the main strike does not come from the claw hitting the target. The real weapon begins in the water in front of it. When the claw snaps shut, it forces a narrow jet of water forward at high speed. That jet changes the pressure in the water. For a tiny fraction of a second, the pressure drops enough for a vapor bubble to form. This is called cavitation. It may sound harmless because a bubble looks delicate, but a cavitation bubble is not an ordinary bubble drifting upward through the sea. It is created by a sudden pressure change. It appears almost instantly, exists for a very short moment, and then collapses. That collapse is where the violence happens. As the bubble implodes, the surrounding water rushes inward. Energy becomes concentrated into a tiny space. The collapse produces a sharp snap, a pulse of pressure, and a burst of sound. The whole event happens incredibly fast. The claw closes. A jet of water shoots forward. The jet rolls into a vortex. Pressure drops inside the flow. A cavitation bubble forms. The bubble collapses, and the water itself becomes part of the attack. This is why the pistol shrimp is so unusual. It is not simply hitting another animal with a claw. It is using fluid dynamics to create a short-range shock. When people describe the pistol shrimp as shooting, it is easy to imagine a tiny bullet, but there is no solid projectile. Nothing is fired like ammunition. The shot is a pressure wave. For a small prey animal nearby, that sudden pressure can be enough to stun it, disorient it, or make it easier to capture. The shrimp can stay close to its shelter, wait for the right moment, and release a snap powerful enough to affect what is in front of it. That makes the weapon especially useful in a coral reef. A reef is not an open battlefield. It is a maze of holes, coral branches, tunnels, shadows, and tiny territories packed close together. In that kind of environment, a short-range weapon can be extremely effective. The pistol shrimp can use its snap to hunt. It can use it to defend its burrow. It can use it to warn rivals or discourage threats that come too close. Its strength is not based on size. It is based on specialization. The shape of the claw matters. The speed of the closure matters. The way water is squeezed through the claw matters. The vortex that forms in front of the claw matters. And the collapse of the bubble turns a tiny movement into a violent physical event. This is biology and physics working together. The animal evolved the structure. The water provides the force, and the reef becomes the place where that mechanism matters. But the pistol shrimp is not important only because of its attack. It also helps shape the sound of the reef. From above, coral reefs may look silent. On camera, they can seem calm, colorful, and slow. But underwater, reefs are filled with sound. Fish move and feed, small animals scrape and click, water shifts through rocks and coral, and snapping shrimp add sharp pops and crackles to the background. In many shallow marine habitats, these snaps are part of the natural soundscape. A reef can sound busy because it is busy. Even when the animals are hidden, their sounds reveal that the environment is alive. This is the hidden side of the ocean. Underwater, sound travels differently. Pressure matters, vibration matters. Many animals use sound to detect what is around them, communicate, hunt, avoid danger, or defend space. The pistol shrimp fits perfectly into that acoustic world. Its snap can be an attack, it can be a warning, it can be a signal. And when many snapping shrimp live in the same habitat, their sounds can become part of the reef's constant crackling background. That is what makes this animal more than a strange curiosity. It shows how survival can depend on forces we barely notice. A small pressure change, a collapsing bubble, a sound pulse, a shock moving through water. At our scale, a bubble seems harmless. At the scale of a small reef animal, under the right conditions, a bubble can become violent. That is the strange beauty of the pistol shrimp. It does not need to dominate the reef by size. It does not need to chase far. It does not need to be obvious. It survives by staying hidden and using a mechanism so fast that the most important moment is almost invisible. A claw becomes a launcher. A jet becomes a vortex. A vortex creates a bubble collapses into a pressure wave, and a tiny shrimp turns fluid dynamics into a weapon. This is what makes nature feel almost engineered. But there is no machine here, no metal, no design plan, only evolution, anatomy, and water. Over time, a body part became specialized enough to exploit one of the most intense physical effects in the reef. The pistol shrimp did not become bigger, it became more precise. So the next time a reef looks calm, imagine what may be happening below the surface. Inside small cracks and hidden burrows, claws are snapping, bubbles are forming and collapsing, pressure waves are moving through the water. The reef is alive with sounds most people never hear, and somewhere in that noise, one of the smallest hunters in the ocean is using one of nature's strangest weapons. A weapon made not from teeth, speed, or strength, but from water, pressure, and a bubble.